Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the art session series. And today we're going to be doing a voiceover of a recent session I did. I think this is the last sketch of this batch. I think all in all, it's like 6 sketches I did in this like batch. I'm still not a fan of this this glowing thing. Maybe the camera is too close, or maybe the exposure, or maybe the settings are off. I'm not sure, but I want to make sure I'll see if in the next batch I can remove it, or I can start off recording the video without this sort of glowing thing, because it's a bit much to compare to the previous batch. It wasn't as like obvious, so I want to figure out why. Anyway, wait, let me see my full time real time here. So all in all, this video is like 11 minutes long, the recording. And actually for this batch, the idea was, instead of doing things from imagination, I'll do art or sketch from reference. And in this case, I was referencing one of the paintings of Silmo. I did review their work in the past. XILMO. Search them up. I think it's supposed to be like Freeren or some kind of Freeren adjacent elf. But yeah, I actually like this one. Like the previous video as well. I used not one brush. I used multiple brushes and some layers, which is why it took like about 10 minutes or just 11 minutes long. Whenever you have more than one brush and your process is kind of like has this bit of complexity to it. It's not that complex, but it's not limited to one like brush or one tool. It will take longer because, you know, the constant like switching back and forth and stuff like that. And obviously like the layer management, that's gonna take a while. But right now I started to draw it from the beginning with like orange, red, something. I just felt like doing it. And then being a bit gestural with the lines. Again, I'm trying to be efficient with my line work or line sketch. I'm not trying to use so many lines, and I think it has helped me. Basically, I want to train myself to be a bit more bold. If it doesn't look good, I'll just like Control Z or erase it. I don't have to do it this way. I can do like more rougher brush strokes or pencil strokes or pen strokes, but right now I just felt like doing more efficient strokes. And I think I'm using some kind of pen, so it's kind of bold, kind of thick, and it has enough like pen pressure variety that it, even at this stage, it makes the sketch look kind of cool. So I was trying to draw braids. I tried to do like the whole swivel thing, but it did not work. So yeah, the eyes were a bit too off, so I used the lasso selection tool and moved it around. Which is one of the cool things about doing digital art, is you can have like these liquify tools, lasso selection tools, and all sorts of things to be able to make these types of adjustments. And I think painting directly is nice, but limiting yourself to just painting alone and not utilizing your digital mediums or tools is kind of a waste, you know? You want to take advantage of these types of things. So what am I doing now? I think I'm going to add like some base colors. Oh, for the hair, bluish hair. Again, I'm referencing the colors mainly of the artist, although it doesn't exactly look like. I'm actually proud of this, because as much as I'm referencing the artist's painting, it's not. I'm not trying to make it totally look like it. Meaning, I'm using it simply as a reference. And I think this is something I've always struggled with, is whenever I have reference, I will literally copy it 1:1 to the point where it's like a photocopy. It's like a scan, you know? But right now I'm able to sort of, you know, make my own adjustments, allow my natural inclinations in terms of like how I move my pen and stuff like that to change the... Eventually when you look at this and that painting, or one of their paintings, you can tell it's been referenced, but it's not that tight, you know? Like, you can tell it's me, like I did this, you know? And I'm very proud of that. As someone who always struggles with using references, especially with copying things 1:1. And now that's just, I decided to remove some like details for like the clothing. I added like a necklace instead, because, you know... oh wow, it's kind of low. I should have added like some little... She's on the smaller side, she's quite petite, but I don't mind. Kind of hot, actually. And she has like a lot of foot shots in the anime. Actually, both the elves, because there's like 2 of them in the show, both of them had like decent foot scenes. Oh, the way more for the blonde one. Such nice feet. Anyway, the layer I'm working on now is what exactly? I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, I'm using, or the photo, the reference is kind of guiding me with the base colors. But oh, I also decided to paint the line art. We've seen this in the channel in the art reviews. There are artists who will color their lines, and they'll make it close to the color that's close to it. The only difference is they'll make it value-wise just darker, so you can actually see it. But by doing this, it helps blend or set the line work back a bit. It's still there. It still gets to be a part of the artwork, but it's just not as strong. And in a way, it sort of blends into the painting without necessarily like physically blending it with like a mixer brush or painting over it multiple times. I think it's a cool look. I do recommend to try it. You will see this in like comics and such. Because in comics, it's not just black and white. They will color their interior pages as well, not just their cover art. And sometimes their line work will have these types of things. Not always, but it's a lot more common. What am I doing now? Oh, okay, I'm painting over. Even on top of some of those lines. Basically fixing up the silhouette. And adding some shadows. The photo is still guiding me, or the reference photo, the painting is still guiding me, but again, I'm not being too attached to it. And I think it's I'm very happy with that. How do you not get attached to the reference while still being able to use it? To me, that was always like the big struggle. But with this session, I'm actually very proud of it. Very, very simple. It's just like a front-facing view of like free run. I think her hair was supposed to be on front, but I decided to put it back just because I didn't want to draw the whole thing. I think the braids. I mean, but yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I think I'm painting on top of everything at this point, or in this layer. By the way, this video again is in real time. We're seeing me in real time do this. Look at that. And I don't mind seeing a bit of that orange show through. You can still see in some parts here where the orange is not, like the lines are not completely like painted over with. I don't mind it. It looks kind of cool. It has that sketchy, like, you know, like rough, just bold vibe. I don't like it. I like it. Fixing up the hair a bit. Adding some highlights, I believe. Some light grays. This one was too like light. Or the value was just too not good. Or too similar. I think I'll pick a lighter one for some highlights. There. Oh, whoa, interesting. Kawaii. And I like this look where the line work kind of seeps back and forth. Sometimes the edge is like painted, like you can see the edge because there are two different values. Like this one is darker, this one is lighter, and sometimes you will find edges where you can see an actual line to define that edge. The kind of back and forth thing where it's kind of a mix of both looks kind of cool. And maybe this is why I'm attached to artists like Silmo, XILMO. It's been a while since I reviewed their work, but I put Silmo in the category of painterly anime artists like Dino Illis, 96 Yoteya, 96 YOTTEA, something like that. Am I saying it right? I think so. Or just search 96. I've reviewed Dino 96 and Silmo in the channel. I may revisit their work in the future, but right now, maybe not. So now I'm drawing the painting in the eyes. It's kind of a, you have to actually make sure that the pupil size is kind of the same, and I think the right hand side is a bit big, although I believe I did adjust it eventually. And then painting in like the whiter or the highlights within the eyes, and then I'll paint in like a lighter value for the white part of the eye. It's not technically white, it's like a lighter version of the skin tone, but it helps make it look more like an eye. Is it perfect? No, but I think it's okay. Right, she looks kind of kawaii. Very kawaii. Back up. Right? That rough look looks really, really good. And I'll be honest, to end, even though this batch was kind of, you know, I did struggle a bit, and you know, I wasn't too confident with myself. In the previous video, when I did the Spider-Man one, I think I started to gain some confidence, and when I ended the batch, the fifth sketch was Spider-Man. When I ended the batch with this one, with this sketch of Ren, I was very, very happy. So let me just check my time here. Oh, we got some time left. and it made the whole session kind of worth it. So it just shows you that even if you have like a batch of sketches that where you just suck ass, like you're being sucked dry and not in a good way, like your soul is being like ripped of its like life. It's gonna happen, but eventually, if you keep pushing, you're gonna reach a point where all it takes is one sketch to give it that boost of confidence, where you start thinking, oh shit, maybe I really am an awesome artist. And then once you do that, maybe the next sketch after that will be even better. So don't quit, don't give up, and just expect sucky sketches to come here and there once in a while, or often really, or regularly. But maybe for every 10 sketches, you'll have like one sketch that's like, oh shit, not bad, not bad. And I think this is one of those like paintings or quick painting sketches. I mean, look at this, 10 minutes. Look at me full time, 11 minutes and 26 seconds. It's not a bad look, right? For a sketch, it looks kind of like a quick painting, at this point. Pretty cool, right? But then again, I had reference, which is not a bad thing. I did set the intention for me to use reference. I could have left it like that, but I decided to add a bit of a line to define that edge a bit more. So I painted a line in, to define that chin a bit more. I do like the way I rendered the nose. Very simple. Yes, the reference did guide me, but I like it. Okay, so that's it. Hopefully enjoyed, and yeah, I'm not sure what to do in the next batch. You know what? I did talk about Spider-Man. I think a common thing here was my drawing. I'll do more contour stuff. How about that? Next batch of sketches, contour stuff. Basically line drawings. Kind of like what I'm doing now, like this phase of free run, like that. I'll do more of that. And maybe a base color to just help it not look as boring, but not too many paintings. We'll try focusing on drawing. And yeah, I'll see you in the, hopefully enjoyed. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.